the first UpX World Media broadcast. I know that a lot of you were probably expecting to see a couple different faces here. If you are here looking for K Twice, aka Casey, he is currently under the weather a little bit, so he will not be joining this first event, uh, but we will have a more official kickoff to come. So I wanted to take this time to just kind of introduce everybody to myself and then to talk a little bit about the project that is going on. So if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to drop them in chat. I will try and monitor them diligently. There we go. All right, we got some people rolling in. Hey, everybody. So again, if you're just tuning in, you're probably looking for K Twice. I know I look very similar, so don't get confused. But I am Thank Me Later, and I am glad that everyone is jumping in now. So, what I would waiting for the ad. Oh, is there ads running on this? Oh, boo! 15 seconds left. Man, I need to turn that off. I was looking for, yeah. Hey, oh man, we got a lot of people. All right, Buster Worth in the house, Franklin 2G in the house. Very cool. I appreciate everybody joining today. Oh, relics, very nice. Let me put this in presenter mode. So what we'll talk about today is a couple different things. I wanted to give everybody, a kind of brief overview. Didn't want to delay again, but again, my partner K Twice is currently under the weather. We wanted to do a big kickoff thing together, so we will wait to do the official large kickoff and boarding instructions until he's feeling better. But I do kind of want to give everyone who's in here now a little bit of taste of what's coming. A little bit about why you should be excited about this project and why you definitely need to make sure that your friends and anyone that you know in this community or in other NFT communities gets on the boarding process before we launch. So in the history of UpX World, technically in this time frame, UpX World isn't even discovered yet. So for those of you who are following along with the kind of the backstory of the Xlander, if you haven't, there is a great article that the lovely Seppuku has helped craft and put out there. So be sure to check out the Medium article that gives a little bit more detail on the backstory of the Xlander. But the Xlander is essentially a AI robot that has human intelligence integrated in with it. So as an Xlander in this universe, you have your human consciousness, but it's integrated with a robot form, which we call Xlanders. There's a fun little story about how they become to know Xlanders if you wanted to learn more about that in the Medium article. So with that said, at this point, we're all still on Earth. We've now crafted our Genesis vessel that is about to take off and explore. And the goal of that mission is to find another Earth-like planet to reestablish civilization. Humans destroyed Earth's resources. It's not livable. That's why we had to actually merge with robots in order to survive. And now we're going to go find a new planet. So this is the call to arms. You want to be on this Genesis craft. So there's going to be a survey when we do our official launch and boarding. It's not happening now, that you will need to, in the Discord, click a reaction to. And that's going to give you the Xlander role in that Discord server. Now, the reason that you want to do this is because when we actually do the launch, there will be a snapshot taken of any Xlanders. And again, this isn't one of those like, you have to invite people to do it. Like, you don't have to invite anybody, honestly. Like, you can just keep it to yourself as a secret. Like, I'm in on the Genesis vessel, no one else, right? Like, you could play it that way, but the idea is you probably want to tell your friends that you want on the Genesis vessel to be here, because you will become a permanent part of Opex world lore and mythology. So all of those players who are on that Genesis mission will be forever ingrained in the tomes of Opex world video game. So that's all I'll say there. So be sure that you get in. Plus, we're still doing, if you boost the server, we're actually doing a limited edition jetpack as well for your Xlander. So that's pretty dope, honestly. So on there, if you're not already a part of the Discord, probably are. That's why you're here. But if you're not, join the Discord. We have things like bounty boards going up. So as we spin this project, we are going to be looking for artists, sketch artists, 3D artists, animation artists, game level developer artists, digital architects, digital clothing designers. Oh, when I show you Xlander Fashion, the brand for fashion that we're doing, it'll blow your minds. Now, the thing is, you'll see here pretty prominently the Meta Multiverse. So what does that mean? I don't want to get into too many of the technical details without my partner Casey here, but the gist of it is, Opex World isn't a metaverse. It's not like anything that we're currently seeing out there. We are creating a Web3 layer 2 solution that is set to be, one unifying platform. And what that means is that we will take a metaverse and create the multiverses of it. And so with Upland, you will have your Upland base layer 1 metaverse, and then Opex World will create a multiverse on top of that. So the architecture is actually really interesting. And so I am really looking forward to getting it built out. It's going to add a tremendous amount of gamification and options to Upland, as well as other layer 1 NFT projects. So if you are the lead of any sort of NFT projects or connected with any NFT projects that are looking for a gamification element or utility addition, please be sure to send me a DM. We would love to get you connected with the Opex World program. Humble Life says sketch artist here and more. Sketchy artist, Franklin says. Yeah, so sketch artist. So one of the big things, and like, this is the cool thing. So this project is all going to be about community. Like, we see layer 1, as much as people want to decentralize assets, and like that's what everyone's trying to do with layer 1, is decentralize assets. I think my time in this space has changed my perspective on what we should be trying to decentralize. And to me, the decentralization of assets is nice, but that's not really where, like, if you think about generational wealth, right? To me, separation of assets is like, okay, cool. Here, everybody gets a little bit of money. It's like, your tax return, right? It's like, oh, here's your $500 for having a kid. Like, okay, like, that's nice. What we actually need is decentralized revenue. Yeah. So having a game, instead of every single revenue stream of a game going to a single entity, so i.e. the game creator, we should be decentralizing revenue streams. So with the Opex World gaming platform, we do expect artists and game developers and players alike to all be able to have their own revenue streams directly through the platform. So if you are creating unique content, if you are creating unique and valuable art, those things will have potential revenue streams in Opex World. So I think, to me, that's very, very exciting, and I think a way for us to push that forward. So I think that's all. I wish I could share more. I really do not want to. There's so much good stuff. But the big thing here is Opex World. We are going to be creating a video game. Like, let's not, like, beat around the bush. We're developing a gaming platform that's going to be built on top and leveraging upland assets, and it's going to be larger than any other project that's out there right now, I think by a significant margin, because of kind of what we're looking to implement and the scale we're looking to implement it at. So we are very excited about that. I think we have a lot of unique takes on the actual architecture. So those of you who don't know me, in game, I'm thinking later. Out of game, my name is Joe Westridge. I'm actually a seasoned enterprise software architect. I work with many Fortune 100 companies and do their IT redesign and do their cloud migration. So for me, data structures and highly integrated technical systems and problem solving in that space has been my specialty for quite some time. Add to that, I am a fanatic gamer. I think that this is an awesome opportunity, and pairing with Casey, I think, was absolutely the right call. For those of you who don't know Kay twice, he is an unbelievable entrepreneur in his own right, extremely hardworking and positive part of this community. And so, we are both very excited to be able to bring this project to the community. And the biggest thing is with the community. So like I said, everything we do is going to be community story driven. Even the fact, so will Opex World have data? Absolutely. We're going to have top class data. Again, I'm a data architect. And so we're actually working with somebody right now to do a really good setup for that. But even that has a backstory of it being the data mines, and we have to drill into the Opex World planet to get to the core to actually run the supercomputer, et cetera. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. I'm a design architect. If you need a cool game building done, Rick Peters, definitely. We have some bounties open for that. So this is the other thing is if you feel like you can contribute artistic assets, drawings, things like that to this project, feel free to DM me, even DM me your rates of what we're looking for. Like right now, like I need somebody to sketch out some of these Xlanders. Like if you've ever seen like iRobot or the white monsters from not Game of Thrones, Westworld, we're looking for that like robotic but still humanoid kind of look. Keep in mind that these are going to be the base player avatars, so we're going to be decorating them with different accessories, helmets, face, body, etc. So you can't have a bunch of crazy stuff extruding it, so it's got to be a pretty streamlined body. I have some other requirements there, but if you're a sketch artist and you want to sketch some of these up, if you're a 3D modeler and you want to model some of these up, hit me up because we are paying cash bounties and other prizes for participants helping out. And so you'll be a part of the lore as well, right? So as the creator of those models, the idea will be that a player will be able to have multiple models or bodies, but these will be kind of like the foundational ones that you get when you start the game. Buster, where these projects will be listed in the bounties channel. Yes, that's true. Yeah, so in the bounties channel, you'll see there's a couple bounties up. And I can put some more up there too. If you are interested in more of the game development, if you have any experience doing Mapbox to Unity integration, that is a skill set I'm looking for pretty actively. If you do building, so if you've done any of the Upland Decor contests, definitely want to talk to you. We have a large need for building architects, we'll say, to build different skins and different art styles for the buildings. I won't go too much into that, but needless to say, in Opex World, in our layer 2, the world will look the same but different. So we plan on having a bunch of different aesthetic looks for the different levels and layers inside of Opex World. And that's all I'll say about that. But needless to say, I think it'll have an opportunity for everybody to play in a place that has like a similar taste to what they're looking for. So I think that's going to be super fun. Let's see. I was looking to where to get on ship and missed the info. Oh no, the Upland Puppet. No, you just got to go to discord.gg or follow one of these links. Scotch and Shota NFT will make sure you get where you're going. Is it going to be? Joey Wilson wants to know if it's going to be virtual. It is going to be virtual. We'll probably start out with web-based Unity gaming. Our plan is certainly to roll out mobile, so iOS, Android would probably be after web. So web, then mobile, and then long term, who knows? I'm not saying that hey, Microsoft, give us a call. You want us to put it at the Xbox store, kind of thing. But if you know a guy who knows a guy that we want to put it on the Nintendo Switch, like, let me know. We'll make that happen. So yes, the plan is definitely going to be a mobile app for the actual Opex world. So yes. There you go. There's a link to the Discord. Can I download it on my phone? You'll be able to. Yes, frankly, it's not available yet. It's not available yet, but yes, you will be able to download it onto your phone. Oh, yeah, that's right. So thank me later. Yeah. So if you're in the Discord, I'm one of the top names in the thing. You'll see me. I'm a little turtle. All right, let me see here. Can I give you guys some teasers? I have to be careful. You guys, the internet is sneaky. I have to be careful what I share, eh? Because you guys will record it. Let's see. So stop screen. All right, let's see here. What do you guys, is there something you're interested to see? Let me see if I can give you any other teasers here. Well, I don't know. What do you guys want? What would be interesting to you? Do you want to know about the gaming part? Are you interested to know about the data? Are you interested in utilities, social? What area would you like to hear more about? Let's see this. Share screen. Let's see here. You're a classy turtle. Thank you, Rick Peters. Can I be a sexy dragon lady? No. Sorry, 1111. You cannot be a sexy. Can you go over UPX use? So, yeah. So the UPX use in UPX world, that's a good question. So there is going to be an escrow program. So what will happen is when you go to play a game in UPX world or use a utility or whatever, you might have to pay in some UPX, or you might have to go visit a property or do some equivalent of that to then unlock that layer. And then you'll visit it. And then if it's like a pay to play game where you're paying like an arcade style, you would, your UPX will come out of your remaining balance. At the end of your session at UPX World, your escrow account closes out, and then you get any remaining UPX back to your account. Obviously, any transfer of those, there's going to be things like fees that we're still working out the best way to do that. But that'll be the primary role of UPX. Aspects of the characters. So the characters, your main character is going to be an Xlander. He's a biped humanoid android. We're still working on the designs, but likely there will be multiple designs as players will be able to swap out their Xlander avatar base model with different limited edition or available. Think of like explorers, but as if an explorer is just like your profile pic, your Xlander becomes like a 3D avatar. When do we leave Earth? Where are we headed? That's a great question. We are headed. We heard some distress signals out, hundreds of light years away, but we know that there's a wormhole that was discovered just past Mars. So when we take off, we're actually going to hit that warp poll. Go check out the distress call, see if there's anybody that needs our help before continuing on our journey for a new home planet. In-game cafe, social communication. There's going to be all kinds of social. The social stuff we're doing is, yes, it's going to be in-game, stuff like that. Can we explain the mining aspect? So mining is going to be in Upland. We might have something in Opex World, but we won't be able to mine Spark in Opex World, at least not right away or ever. When we Xenon, yes, we will have Xenon. Xenon is the in-game currency for those that was leaked on the server. Yes, Xenon is going to be like the in-game, like what you pick up when you play and stuff. Is there a world map or something? So this is a good question, Rick Peters. So all of our world maps are based off of Upland. So whenever you go into a world, if it's San Francisco, if the game is based in San Francisco, it will always be the same buildings and setup as Upland. If you go into a specific neighborhood, it'll have all those buildings and everything like that. Any chance of early boarding? Those who are getting town. Maze, just ping me. We'll make sure you're taken care of. If you're out of town or you're worried that you're going to miss the onboarding, just shoot me a DM and we'll figure it out. UVKJC here. Hey, UpX World Ambassador. There we go, UVU. Yeah, so we do have ambassadors in the program. These are some people who are very early on and influential. So if you are friends with an ambassador, good job. If you're not friends with an ambassador, make friends with an ambassador. They're really good people. Let's see what we got here. What kind of things can I decorate my avatar with? Good question. So we do plan on having a multi-part system with hats and shirts and accessories. They'll both be premium and account bound, and then premium and non-account bound as well. And the premium non-account bound would be like NFTs from layer ones, where everything that UpX World's going to be doing is going to be layer 2, not NFTs. So I know this might come as a shock, and this might be a big revelation, but like your Xlanders and things like that, they're not NFTs at all. But you might be able to decorate them with NFTs or other in-app purchases that are just account bound. Okay, don't go to Neptune. That's where Robot Santa is. Well, thank you for that, More Cheese. I'm glad that we won't do that. Is there any pathway from Xenon to translate to? So Xenon to USD, no. So Xenon is going to be very much an inert, no pun intended, if you are a science fan, an inert coin. It'll be used for account-bound, non-premium items only. So these would be like cosmetic upgrades or to play different games that maybe have a lower threshold. So this would be very much a non-premium currency. You cannot buy it. You can only earn it kind of deal. How many current active devs? That is a good question. I think we have about 8. Well, it depends on like the scope of what you're saying, but we have probably about 8 developers so far that I think we're trying to build the team against. And that, keep in mind that we have artists that have to do the renderings and the rigging and then the actual game development. And then we have the data development and the data aspect side of it. And then, so all of that requires developers. Will there be a benefit to grinding? Yeah, absolutely. So we're very much going to have both active and passive reward systems. So you will be able to actively play games and earn, as well as passively with some very, very cool stuff that we're bringing to allow players more opportunities for passive income. And again, to me, decentralization of revenue streams is where it's at. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Well, one second here. Too stupid is calling me. So give me, see, always something, always somebody. All right. So, are we able to import NFTs from Wax or other chains that will be able to be bought, sold, traded in your layer two Web3 multiverse? Great question, Space. So, the beauty of what we're doing is no, we aren't going to import anything. Upex World does not want to import anything or really manage any NFTs. That to us is the whole purpose of layer one. So, instead, what we're going to do is leverage the escrow process, much like Upland is doing. So we think and we feel very strongly that Upland's architecture, with what they've done with their layer one, of having a stable layer one economy with an escrow API that will allow for game developers to do a very simple API call and then leverage the assets without actually having to ever take them off the chain, without having to worry about any of that security of, I don't want to have to be holding your whatever in my own hands. So having an escrow account really allows us to be able to leverage the security of the blockchain without having to do any of the technology complications of smart contracts or anything like that. So the short answer to will you be able to import from Wax, et cetera, is no. However, if the question is, will I be able to use my Wax and other NFTs inside of Upex World? The answer is absolutely. And if it's, will there ever be an exchange where I can exchange my Wax NFTs for my EOS NFTs for my ETH NFTs? The answer is absolutely. But we won't be doing it using the standard bridging technology. We'll be using it using escrow technology, which is a fundamental architecture difference from us versus any other layer two that's out there right now. All right, let's see what else we got. Is there any concept art done? Not that I'm really super proud of, Rick. I'm still waiting on it. We got a couple different designs and logos and stuff back. You can see on the website, we do have kind of our brand, the Upex World brand, which we're pretty happy with. Where's the survey? Sorry, there's no survey yet, Buster. We're waiting. If you didn't hear, Casey's still not feeling well. So we're giving him some more time to recover. I'm just kind of doing a brief overview and conversation, get everyone, didn't want to leave you guys hanging and postpone another day. I wanted to come on and just say hi and answer some basic questions and get you guys excited because there's a lot of really big things coming for sure. Yes, I think More Cheese is hooked up with a couple different artists too. Yeah. No, hey, Rick Peters, please make sure get on the site and ping us. We definitely, like I said, we're going to need a ton of buildings. So we need skins for all the buildings. So imagine essentially all of the core, whatever there is now, 10, 12. Well, there's a bunch of new like custom ones, but we're going to need skins, multiple types of skins for all of those. And as the artist, again, one of our core missions is to decentralize revenue streams. So, and again, I'll give you guys a little bit more. See, this is why you can't keep me. People that know me know that I'll ramble myself into letting way more out of the bag than I should. But what I'll say is, as an artist, yes, there are bounties. We will pay you straight for your designs, things like that. However, our long-term goal is very much to have that as an active partnership where we say, hey, we have a client or multiple clients that say want Candyland themed aesthetics. So we need an artist to come up with Candyland versions of the apartment, the small townhouse, all of the buildings, as well as like Candyland themed style floor textures and whatever other textures we decide to put into the package. That includes car wraps. That includes, if there's accessories for the Xlander, that includes, whatever else we might have. So then at that point, that would be packaged up, much like you would go into an in-app purchase of like Fortnite and go, oh, I want to purchase that skin. Well, now imagine we commission you to make that. But then in addition, when it gets put up at the shop for a microtransaction, every time somebody buys one, you as the artist could potentially get ongoing revenue, right? So that is the idea here, is that we don't want to have a scenario where It's just artists creating content for a big, gaming behemoth, and then them just getting their paycheck and being back to being sad. Like, our goal is that we will be able to bring in new artists, give them an opportunity to create a passive revenue stream through Opex World. And that's just one of the many ways that we're looking to decentralize revenue streams, which to me is really exciting as a player, as a game developer, as all of that. Well, the nice thing is you don't need to even learn art. What are you good at? What are you skilled at? Are you good at getting communities together? Are you good at social media? Like, there's going to be ways to, if you create value, which is something that we've been preaching since day one. If you're able to bring value to the Opex World adventure, then absolutely, like, let's go. We'll find a way to make you some money. That's the beauty of this project is if you're in the community now, like, and I know it sounds cliche, right? You're at the ground floor kind of thing. Like, you're literally boarding the Genesis vessel of something that is incredibly powerful. Like, it's kind of crazy when we execute this, how big it has the potential to be and what's going on behind the scenes already. It's going to be a behemoth. And so we want to take as many people in the community along for the ride as possible. Like, it's going to be really fun. Let's see here. So we got a comment here. The escrow only seems viable in the Upland metaverse. Do you foresee it being available on others? Yes, I absolutely do. And in fact, we're already working with several other NFT projects and looking at what the escrow process might be for those wallets and alternatives. So really, escrow is really for moving assets. But there's a couple other things that we want to do. I won't give it away, but some other things you're going to be able to do with those layer one NFT assets to, again, generate passive income and do some really fun things with them. Are we going to the moon? Yeah, I mean, in one sense, yes. I think Opex World and subsequently Upland and other projects that are coming with us, we are all very set for a moonshot. Not financial advice. Do your own research, etc. But yeah, I think networking and marketing is your jam. Well, there you go. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for networking and marketing. This is going to be a massive community project. So if you are a community leader, this is an opportunity to step up. But yes, back to this question originally, I do see it being available, and I do see it being a future just architecture for any layer one that wants to be successful. How's Opex World going to attract new players? Ooh, thank you, Emmer. That's a great question. So we actually plan on bringing a lot of new players to Upland. Our approach is going to be slightly different. We are going to end up going for more of the mainstream gamer. So we foresee a scenario where players will come in. We're going to have streamers like on this channel and work with other streamers to stream our content and games. I really like if we start doing some fun development, and I don't know, I'm open to this conversation. Would you guys like to see, like, if we and again, like, this is pipe dream, but let's say one day we open up an Opex World office, and so we're sitting there doing dev. Like, if we just like live streamed those dev sessions and you guys could see it happening in real time, like, would that be something you guys would be interested in? Because I think that would be kind of cool. I think that's one of the things I don't like about the current projects out there is everything seems to be very much like behind closed doors, like trust us kind of thing. And I think, the communities come in like, okay, yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 652 times. Like, come on, chibis. I can't do this anymore. So shout out to anybody who knows that Chibi's reference. But the reality is, like, we want to be very transparent with what we're building. I want the community to be very involved every step of the way. I think it's going to be important to really set us apart and get people excited about it. Because as we're developing it, if you guys have a fun idea, like this isn't going to be your standard operating, protocol. Like we are going to try and be way more inclusive of the community. And we have some specific architecture designs that allow us to do that more so than a traditional layer one. And we'll get more into that when we actually do the official launch. Let's see here. If you mark it, I will give you 30. Let's see. New players. So that's the new players. Is we're going to go from the gaming perspective. We're going to do streaming and content creation. Bring players in as an Xlander first, and then walk them through the journey. We actually have a complete journey from onboarding as an Xlander, just as a normal gamer, say through your Apple phone or your iOS app or a web app or your Xbox, PlayStation store. Pipe dream, but hey, we'll put it out there. And then you will slowly realize that you have to have an Upland account to unlock certain features, and there'll be certain things that you need to do to actually earn your way into the Upland metaverse. And so it'll be a journey. Oh my gosh, my PC is like being super bad right now. All right, sorry about that. So let's see, there's that. Are you currently the only layer 2 platform for Upland? I mean, technically, I don't think there's any layer 2 platforms for Upland, but yes, we would. Our goal will be first to market with a layer 2 platform solution. Love the quick yes. Yes, shout out to Shackland. Yes, absolutely. I like Shackland. Relics is here. All right, we got some excitement. All right, cool. So there you go. So that's kind of the brief overview. I will leave it there. So now again, so it's things like Spark Exchange. There's a big difference. So I think that there's layer 2. There's a layer 2 utility and individual applications, which I think there's a lot of that happening. So I want to make sure that we differentiate. I think that there's room for a bunch, right? I don't think that there's only going to be one layer 2 platform. I think there's going to be probably a handful of layer 2 platforms. And then I also believe that there's going to be dozens, if not more, layer 2 just applications like the Spark Exchange, like the auction houses, even like the racing, right? So if you look at Upland's racing is a third party, or is a layer 2. It's not a third party layer 2. Sorry. So racing is an example of a layer 2 application that Upland built themselves. So it's just a first party layer 2. So can you explain what layer 2 is? Yeah, layer 2 is just it's kind of just like a tech term. Sorry, my battery is going to die, and this is bad. Oh my goodness. So from a technology perspective, that's just a differentiator between like layer 1 being like any dApp. So anything that's built on the blockchain or blockchain technology. In this conversation, we're calling layer 1. So if layer 0 is the actual blockchain, like that's where the actual NFTs sit, that's where the actual crypto sits. And then your layer 1 is like your dApps and your things that leverage it. So Upland does a great job of being one of the smoothest onboarding layer 1s of like, hey, I can come in, it creates a wallet, it puts my NFTs, all of that. So that's all layer 1. Layer 1 apps and everything directly interact with the blockchain. Every action you do requires communication with the blockchain. That's why things like minting and stuff like that can be so cumbersome and create a lot of overhead. What we're talking about is a layer 2 solution, which means that we aren't doing now our layer 2. Now, other layer 2s might do something different, but our layer 2 is not interacting with the blockchain at all. We interact with APIs from layer 1s, specifically escrow services or data services, to get information or to leverage assets in our layer 2 solution. So I hope that explains it. So layer 0 is the actual blockchain. Layer 1 is all your NFT metaverses, dApps, NFT projects, wax, all that. That's like there. And then you have layer 2, which is like the games and the stuff that's built on top that doesn't necessarily use blockchain. So it's removed yet again from blockchain. And I think like that's the gap to get end users and new mass market users into the space, is a solid layer 2 that obscures the blockchain even further. Let's see here. Will utility of Upland affect the assets in Well, utility of Upland, I think it's the other way around. I think the utility of Opex world will affect the Upland assets. So, honestly, let's see. Think about something that uses data from Upland built out something else. Yes, that's true. So yeah, you can think about like any of the data sites as well. Technically, those are layer 2. Those are just layer 2. Well, there would be layer 2 reporting. I mean, it's layer 1 reporting done in layer 2, technically. So fine. Yes, go to UpX World. Definitely stay up to date on UpX World. All right. Cool. Yes. Oh, and that's a very good. What will be some advantages for Upland players being a part of this project in regards to utility? Well, again, this is where we can't really go into too much detail yet. I don't want to spoil any of the big reveals or kind of the cool stuff without K twice here. But I will say, everything we're doing is designed to add gamification, value, and potential income streams to layer 1 assets. So to your Upland buildings and properties and block explorers and decor. Our entire purpose of our layer 2 is to bring value to those layer 1 assets. So yes, that's the entire mass proposition of what UpX World is going to do. Is I will talk a little bit more about what those look like, some other keywords that we are going to be introducing to the gaming lexicon. It is a very exciting. I honestly, for those who know me, like I have not slept since Vegas. We have been working feverishly for the past however many weeks it's been now to get kind of where we want to be and what we see as next steps. So I wish I could reveal more today. We will do another like full briefing on the deck and all of the cool stuff at some point this week. I promise, as soon as Casey's feeling better, we will reschedule for that. And that also goes to the boarding. So do not worry about boarding yet. That survey has not been out. There will be plenty of time. We will be talking days, not hours. So you will have plenty of time to join and become the Xlander, get on the Genesis ship, because you will definitely want to be there. Will you have new buildings, cars, or just skins for the existing assets? Good call. A good question. At this point, likely what we would do is just skins for the existing assets. We have no intention of competing or creating our own cars or buildings in layer 2. That's the whole value proposition of layer 2, is that it's built on the assets of layer 1. The second we started, bringing in our own cars or buildings, it would erode from the value of layer 1. You remove motivation from people to go buy a house in Upland. So no, we will not be making our own. Yeah, don't take off Upland Puppet. You will not be left without. I promise. We will. Somebody put him in cold storage. But yes, if you have, again, join the Discord. We have a really fun little Xlander exchange. It's an RP channel. If you're into some role playing, you want to get into character of your Xlander. It is fun, a little bit lighthearted, something to do while we build up for what is coming next. Will there be triple? There will be no such Space Wrangler. My goodness. Sorry, can't have nice things. So anyway, thank you for everybody for joining. I am sorry that we weren't able to do the full launch today, but much like most, if you are a NASA buff like me or a SpaceX buff and do launches, like you'll know, like launches get canceled for spaceships quite or delayed. Weather, the smallest things, they can happen. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody joining. And please join the Discord, say hi, and get ready for a crazy fun adventure. If you are an artist, a digital creator, a programmer, or have any other skill sets that you feel like you could bring to the table, do not hesitate to reach out. We would love to be in contact with you, and we would love to see how we can fit you into this project. All right. Well, for my entire friends, family, everybody else at Opex World, I appreciate you tuning in today, and we will catch up later. Cheers.